Hey guys, and welcome to Flames of War for the win!
We are.
So to round out this series, so as myself and Dave can retire to a quiet pub somewhere and start planning the next series.
Yes. Pub sounds good.
And yes, this has been recorded after our whole big announcement. So yes, there will definitely be more series of Flames of War for the win.
There will be, don't
me
worry.
and Dave just getting it on.
Yes.
Well, no, not actually getting it on, but you know, it's enjoying Flames of War.
Yeah.
Like real men. Right. So, Dave, we competed in a GT.
We did compete in the GT.
Me and you are now classified as some of the best players in Europe.
Apparently so.
But I thought, what better way to finish off this series, this first series, than for me and you to play a tournament game.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So what I've done is I've set up a gaming table.
Very nice it looks too.
Yes, lovely. So
look
we
good.
have some kind of like rolling hills. We have a road into a town. We have some
rivers.
kind of like a swamp type thing.
Me and rivers don't mix.
We have
Cornfields,
cornfields,
orchard,
and
lovely church.
An Orthodox church. What I want to do is I'm going to play a mission that I really liked called Encounter Fair Fight. This is an actual mission from the tournament itself. So
Yes. Lots of reinforcements.
I'm going to let Dave take me through the mission. But the first thing we do, we're going to go through this as if it was at the tournament. So the first thing we do, and this happened at the tournament, is we go through all the different pieces of terrain and we discuss what they are. So far, I'm going to suggest, Dave, that roads are roads.
Yep.
So in other words, you can travel twice as fast on roads.
Yes, they can. Yes.
That the hedges are just slow going
Slow going. Yep.
for vehicles, and that in the actual bombed out city on the road, we'll just classify that not as road but as normal terrain.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep, sure.
to take into account all the debris and stuff. But if you try to go between the buildings, it's slow going.
Slow going. Okay. Sure.
Okay, or is that just
Bogging
making too
checks.
much hassle?
Probably slow going because that would keep it going. We don't have to take bogging checks that way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
can
slow
do.
going. Okay.
These will be slow going as well.
Yep,
But
they're
they
slow
give you
going.
cover.
Yes, there'll be concealment from that. And the hedgerows will give you concealment. And then we have these kind of cliffs and things. And I think we'll just have those as slow going.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Keep away from
However, the water, this area here, definitely bogging checks.
Definitely. The whole way through. Definitely.
The whole way through.
Yes.
Okay. And bogging checks if you try to go over over the water as well.
Makes sense to me.
Okay, so that's pretty much that. Is there any other types of terrain that we need to consider?
Nope. I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah. As long as you've got.
Clarify for me, if something's slow going, does that mean that you just travel over at half speed, but it also means that vehicles have to take bogging checks to go through it, doesn't it?
Slow going, you don't need to take bogging checks for.
Okay.
That just makes them go at 8 inches.
Right, okay. Well then what we will do is these hedgerows, we will do them as difficult.
Yep,
okay?
that means a bogging check.
Yep, because I just think that makes
more sense. Yep. See, so I could drive through this without taking bogging checks, but I wouldn't be able to do it necessarily through hedges.
Okay, so that's step one. Step two is the mission itself. So if you're interested in myself or Dave's army lists, we will try to make sure that they're posted beneath this video as well. So, and Dave is looking very sharp today, by the way, as he always is.
29th Infantry dress uniform for the last show. I thought, why not?
So it's and I get called scruffy looking.
No, well, a little bit.
Okay, so preparing for battle. Both players roll a die.
Yep.
The player with the higher score chooses one of the long table edges to attack from. The other player defends from the opposite table edge. We've already done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've already done that.
We kind of sat down and started.
And I won, and I picked this edge.
Which is probably a good idea.
Okay, so starting with the attacker, both players place an objective in their own half of the table.
Right.
Now, this is an interesting thing about the whole attacker thing.
Yes.
Is because the attacker is based on
your army. who you are.
It is.
So as you're an armoured force with your Stugs, you would normally attack against things like motorised or infantry platoons. Infantry normally always defend.
Yeah.
If you're a fortified and you're against infantry, the infantry will assault you.
Yeah.
But we are both armoured, classed as armoured, so we would have to
a fortified company will
always
be in defence.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So starting with the attacker, both players place an objective in their own half of the table. So I have these sexy little objectives. So I place it in my own half of the table. I'm going to place it...
Well, we need to find out who's the attacker first.
Okay.
Because we need to roll. Because that will determine.
Okay.
Because we're done for the table.
Let's roll for that then. Okay.
2.
6.
So you're the attacker. There you go.
Okay. So I'm going to place it here. Just right at the back.
Good idea. Now, if you saw my battle report for the Hangover games, you'll know that I'm really bad at placing objectives. It's one of my main weaknesses. So, but considering this table read is nice and boggin check central, I'm going to place mine right there.
Nasty piece of work. Okay, so next up, both players having placed an objective in their own half of the table, now place a second objective. This time in their opponent's half of the table, again, starting with the attacking player. And then it's worth saying that all objectives must be at least 16 inches from the center line,
which we've done,
and may not be placed within 8 inches of the table edges, which we haven't done. So I get to place an objective
anywhere around here.
And I'm going to put the objective...
16 from the centre?
Yeah.
So you're looking at anywhere back here, to be honest.
I'm going to put it over here.
Okay.
Okay. So just over on this side of the table.
I think I'm going to do pretty much the same. Because of the mission as well, it's random reserves.
Yes,
so you don't know where stuff is going to come in. So I'm going to put mine centralised more around here.
Okay. Now it might need to come back a little bit
further.
So
yeah, that's why centralised.
It's going to be about there.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Starting with the attacker, both players now nominate at least half of their platoons to be held off the table in delayed and scattered reserves.
I remember this bit.
This is the hard bit for me. Okay.
At least you've got 6 platoons.
So, here is my army. It is in a box lid.
It is in a box.
I am doing this just as I would do the tournament. So I've arrived. Okay. Clearly I'm going to be talking to you guys as we go through it about the decisions and stuff that I'm making. So, I want to be relatively aggressive from the start of the game. So I want to make sure that I have my artillery in place, because if I move them on the board, they'll not be able to shoot the turn that they move, so that's kind of wasted opportunity for me.
And that's if they turn up at all.
My artillery are definitely in. My Tiger is definitely in. And the reason for that is, what I'd found during the tournament was that people were very effective at dealing with my Tiger, but it wasn't until after the tournament that I started to realise people cared quite a lot about my Tiger. So it's definitely in as well. Now I get to choose one more platoon that's going to be in, and because I'm still trying to be pretty aggressive with this, I'm going to bring in my platoon of tank riders. So I have three tanks, 3 Stugs with the tank riders. Other things that I need to remember about is, obviously I need my command team for my artillery bombardment, and I'll also need to remember to bring in my 2 sets of spotters.
And your staff team.
And my staff team, of course. So what am I not bringing on? I have a platoon of machine gunners, okay, an MG team. I have another platoon of my Stugs with tank riders, and I have my 88s, which are staying off the board for the moment as well. Along with
That is
along with my plane.
interesting. That is very interesting. I didn't think you'd do that.
Well,
You're an interesting man.
yes. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, guys. You know, I'm just saying it's what I'm doing. So, Dave, what are you going to do?
I'm going to do something that I didn't do in the tournament, which I probably should have when I was doing it. I am going to bring on my... Because I've only got 5 platoons.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only deploy 2.
Yes.
Which is a real... It's one thing you must learn from tournaments. Take 6 platoons or more.
Yeah. Well, the interesting is if you take 9 platoons,
You ignore.
the other person
So
has to
much.
kill 2 of those platoons just to get 1 point.
Yes.
So,
1, 2. So I'm going to bring my infantry on.
okay.
That's my start. I know you're going to be aggressive, so I can kind of counteract that with 1 unit of infantry,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to bring on my artillery as well.
Okay.
So that means I'm leaving off 2 sets of Shermans
Mm-hmm.
and Michael Caine as well.
And Michael Caine is off at the moment.
No, I'm actually going to have him on the board at the start
Okay.
because he's an independent team.
Yeah,
warrior,
so
like
the independent, this is not counting independent guys.
No. Since like, you've got your commander on the
Yeah.
field as well. So I'm going to bring on my sextons, which are my mobile artillery pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I could have brought them on reserve, but I want them to start from the start.
Yeah.
And my veteran infantry, because I know
Mm-hmm.
you love Dougie the veteran infantry so much.
Love them so much. Okay.
So I'm going to just get the rest of my stuff out.
Right, while we're waiting for Dave to do that, we'll be back in a moment when we're going to do deployment.
See you there.
Okay, so we're going to go to deployment now.
Yep.
Point 5 in the preparing for battle. Each player's deployment area is in their own half of the table, excluding the area within 12 inches of the center line. Both players, starting with the attacking player, now alternate deploying their remaining platoons. So, first up, I get to deploy first. So, I'm going to use my handy little template, which I have found most handy for deploying. I'm going to deploy my artillery, okay? So, one of the things that I learned was previously I wasn't sticking artillery up on hills and things like that because I thought, oh, we're making them very exposed. Forget that.
Yeah.
Stick them on a hill. Stick them on the high ground so they get complete line of sight
Yes.
over everything on the board. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. The other thing that I learned about whenever I'm deploying artillery is I want to make sure that if he drops a template on me, that he's not clipping more than 1 piece of artillery. Okay?
My
So-
boy's learning.
I am learning a thing or two. So I want to be very careful about that.
Yes.
So, and one last thing that I learned, and this is an interesting one. I was always deploying things kind of flat on the surface, okay? Because I was thinking, oh, I'd never sit at an angle. But now, having played in the tournament, I'm quite happy to deploy even like that, where it's like sitting at a weird, strange angle.
Oh, yes, you get-
Anything to make the mathematics work.
Yes.
This is something I have learned from a
You
tournament.
get lots of different weird and wonderful deployments, don't you?
Does it look horrendous? Yes, it
Yes.
does. But it's
works.
in this kind of tournament play, that's one thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm also making sure that my guns are within 6 inches of each other, okay? And that not only are they 6 inches of each other, but I'm getting plenty on my objective as well, okay? Just to try and make sure that he has to at least kill something when he
yes.
comes to the objective. So, there we go.
Because you don't think it, but 4 inches is very big on the tabletop.
Yes.
Because you've got a 4-inch zone of capture and domination. It's very big on the tabletop.
These guys come with a little command team that, once again, I can put within 6 inches of it all. So, you know, they don't have to be standing within anything particular. So,
No,
again, it's a matter of just looking at the line of sight for these guys and trying to make sure that wherever I put them, that I can utilize them. There's no point in putting them down, from what I can gather, for the sake of putting them down. Put them down somewhere where you believe, well, actually, that opens up a bit of a line of sight for me that I otherwise wouldn't have had. And then finally, this team here. And what do we call this team, Dave?
Staff team.
They
make your repeat bombardments. They give you the actual ability to bombard.
And I'm going to put them down there. Okay.
I forgot that one.
Right. That's that done, Dave. It's now over to you.
Okay, right. I'm going to start off. Right. You might remember that from my list, I have motorized infantry.
Yes.
I've gone with the motorized part. Get them down on the table and get them holding an objective. So I am going to do just that. Again, like Warren, I'm going to spread them out as far as I can, dig them in.
Now, at this stage, we haven't made any changes to our tournament list.
No, we haven't.
This is what we played at the tournament. We'll probably start the next series by looking at our new lists.
How to change it,
yes.
So, trust me, I'm taking 6 platoons.
I'm going to try and take 9.
If you can get 9 in, more fun to you, to be honest. You do need... One thing I have learnt, again, we have learnt about the... We are taking experiences we've had from the tournament, not different lists.
Yes.
And I'm not going to be able to...
So Dave's making sure to kind of...
I'm trying to, but because I know you're going to come at me, I need to maximise my return fire as well. So it's
So you're spreading the guys out, but still trying to keep them...
coherent.
Yeah.
Yeah, more coherent than the actual rules will let you.
Okay.
That's me done.
Right, my next platoon to put down is going to be my King Tiger. Yeah, I'm going to put my King Tiger down. Now, obviously, at this stage, it's kind of hard to know what he's going to be able to see, but I want to try and keep it entirely concealed if I can. So I'm going to place it, and I need to just double check I can be within 12 inches. So I'm going to place it like that. So as it's within the 12 inches, but hopefully entirely concealed, so he'll not be able to get a line of sight on it.
Don't forget to roll for your...
Oh, yes!
We'll do that before the start of the game.
Yes. I need to, at this stage, bring my Tank Aces dice out, which is little pink dice. I like it. That gives me, with my Tiger, special abilities. So
I am going to place these here in cornfields, because they don't need to see the enemy too much.
Yeah.
But they also get cover, and they're veterans as well. So they can also move as well, but that's really not a problem. So I'm just going to space them out like that. My half track is going to go there. My little German half track that I've captured. Staff teams and observer teams in a mobile force like this can go on here. They can act from... We actually had a contentious part in the tournament. They can act from inside the vehicles.
Right.
I said they could. My opponent wasn't sure.
But they can.
Yes.
Right, okay.
The observer will go down as your observers will in the
Whenever
independent teams.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's that there.
Okay. That leaves me my last platoon. And that was one of the beauty of having 3 versus his, is he's finished now, so I can get to have a think about what I want to do to try and combat that. And because he has nothing that scares me just yet...
No, nor should I have. Not really.
I'm going to put my Stugs here.
I'm counting on my reinforcements being...
Now my Stugs have to be... What's the command distance of the Stugs? 8. So...
You can spread them out quite far.
I just want to spread them out enough to avoid a nasty template from him. more than anything else. So, okay. Right. So that's that done. It's now a matter of deploying our independents. So, that's point 6. Again, starting with the attacker, both players now deploy any warrior teams that are not part of a platoon, and all independent teams.
So that would be these 3 for me.
Yeah, and for me, it's my 1 IC.
Yep.
And my 2 spotters that I'm proxying here because I can't find them. So, my 1 IC is going in with that platoon, okay? And my 2 spotters, they have to deploy within that
they still do,
space as well.
But they can go wherever they wish.
So I'm going to put
there's a lovely, nice hill there.
1 here, just right at the top, just to ensure that I can try and get some more line of sight into the thing.
You can literally see, everywhere. Apart from where things block properly, you can see almost everywhere.
And then the other kind of sneaky thing that I'm going to do is I already have plenty of line of sight over at this side of the table.
Yep.
And Dave might decide to try and expend some energy and stuff killing these guys. And if he does, that's perfectly fine, because I'm just going to put my other team down there as
Oh, that's not even fair.
So
that's not funny.
If you do want to start doing that, that's fine. You can waste
your time.
You can waste a little bit of time over there.
And they're veterans as well, so they can dig in and just.
They are all dug in.
Yeah.
So it's
Is it meeting engagement? Yeah.
So, begin. Your turn.
I got to do mine. Yep. I'm going to put my Joe here.
Yeah.
Hiding behind the cornfield. I'm going to try again with this. I'm going to give line of sight, but it has to be within 8 inches of him. So I'm going to put it there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my spotter tank, who I am actually going to just put up here as well.
Okay.
Because I've got the same line of sight.
Okay.
But it's not as, I don't know. It's
right.
a risky move, that one.
I don't have any reconnaissance in my army, which is something that I really need to address going forward.
I do, but I haven't got them on the table.
You haven't got them on the table.
Both
players now roll a die. The player who finished deploying their platoons first, which was...
me for the platoons.
Yeah, it was Dave for the platoons, gets to add +1 to this dice roll, and the player with the higher result has the first turn. And in the event of a tie, you roll again. So...
5.
You have a 5. I'm going to need a 6. Come on, baby. No, I got a 3. Right, so Dave, you get to go first.
Right, one thing I will ask.
Yep.
Is delayed reserves. Main engagement. Okay, so I can't bombard in this turn.
No. No, you can't.
Or bring in artillery. Air power, whatever.
The player that took the... right, so ending the battle. A player starts their turn having taken either of the objectives that were placed in the enemy deployment area.
Yes.
Okay? The player that took an objective in the opponent's deployment area wins the battle. They've secured key terrain and so on and so forth. The encounter uses the delayed reserves, meeting engagement, and scattered reserve special rules, which I'll get Dave to explain to us as we go through.
Along. Right.
Okay.
One thing I do want to know is, what is your Panzer Ace? Let's have a roll on that.
Ooh, this is a bit that I enjoy. Actually. Yeah. So he got a little target.
Reroll misses.
Okay, it's called Every Shot Counts. Tiger tanks in this platoon re-rolled any failed roll to hits when they shoot. Now here's the thing. I need to keep remembering to do that. That's the problem. Because this changes every time, I often forget to use it. So don't be surprised if I forget during this as well.
And this is tournament rules, so I'm not going to help him at all.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit on tickets. So,
right.
Let's get moving, shall we?
Dave, I'm looking forward to it, mate.
It's going to be good.
Okay.
Right, so let's get this out of the way, because unfortunately it's not going to come on this turn. Actually, not going to be able to do too much at all, actually. So, right, my first turn, I'm really just going to try and get things into a better position. These are all dug in because it's me to... No, it's not actually. So you'd have to roll to dig in. So I'm going to do that now because I need to know. I do.
Yes.
So my infantry are now dug in veterans.
Is that just a skill test or?
Skill test.
Yeah.
Yes.
So a skill test for me is on a 3+.
Yep,
So,
and me, because we're all veterans. You'll find in tournaments, veteran is probably the way to go,
yeah.
unless you've got a really nasty plan. So I'm going to start moving. Try and get. I'm going to move up to the gap in that hedgerow there. Going to move some here just to get out the way, but keep in command and basically tidy up my lines a little bit.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't need to spot this turn, so I'll have a look there. I'm afraid that is probably. I'm actually gonna. No, they're actually in a good position there. I'm gonna move that up there, and I'm gonna slow go into there, just a little bit, just to keep them alive. To be honest. Turn.
Right. Over to me. I don't have any upkeep that I need to do, but what I am going to do is to roll to make sure that these guys here can be dug in. Okay. They can. So I'm going to mark them as all dug in and gone to ground, just to make it a little bit more difficult for Dave if he's going to try and attack me.
We are all gone to ground as well.
So
Even
movement. Right.
They wouldn't because they move.
Movement. Now, one of the things I kind of learned at the tournament was sometimes it's okay to do nothing.
Oh yes, yes.
I
mean, I didn't do anything really, but it is all right.
Yeah.
You don't need to be doing stuff.
I'm going to make some maneuvers here. My Stugs can travel 12 inches.
They can.
So I'm going to start by doing that. Start getting me into a little bit of a more aggressive kind of position now.
I don't like having 5 platoons.
And
I don't like having 5 platoons. Why would I even think that was a good idea at the time?
then this one here, see 12.
Yep.
Yeah, 12 is going to take him right like that.
What you'd have to
right
do is
up
make
into
sure
the
if
town.
that's...
And then that. Oh.
Well, you can redress it back a bit. I mean...
Yeah, I could.
Unless... No, you're going to have to move it at least 2 inches.
Yeah, no, then I'm going to change my move.
Oh, no.
I'm going to put him there like that. Okay.
Yep.
My Tiger. My Tiger is a slow-moving vehicle, so it can only move 8 inches.
Yep.
However, if it gets onto a road,
Yep, it can move a lot quicker.
it could move a lot quicker. Now, does he have to start and end on the road for it to do that, or can he move to a road, then double his speed and
You have to start on the...
have to start on
Road.
the road? Okay. And the range of my Tiger.
Yeah, I'm just going to look that up. I mean, I've not used roads in the whole tournament.
40 inches. So what does 40 inches look like? It looks like a lot.
Basically the whole table.
Yeah. Well, while he's looking that up, I'm going to move forward and be a bit more aggressive, actually. I'm going to go around and onto the road like that.
They have to spend the entire movement step on the road to get the double movement.
Okay.
There you go.
So he hasn't used his double movement.
No.
He's only used maybe about 4 inches
Yep.
or so to get to there. Okay. Right. So that's my movement. Now time for some shooting.
Oh, the fun stuff.
Okay. I'm going to start with my artillery.
Yep.
I can see pretty much everything.
Yep, handy.
And what I'm going to do, first and foremost, is I'm going to put fire down I'm in two minds. Do I bombard the hell out of his objective? I'm going to put fire down here, Dave. Okay. So.
You are literally only going to get one, so pick your target.
I'm going to pick the target, this one here, right beside the objective.
Good idea. So it's going to be like that.
Yes.
So you need to range in.
Yes. So I get 3 dice to range in on.
You do.
And I need a 6. So let's see.
Yes.
Nope.
Nope.
So that's +1 if I have to. Nope. I need to range in once more. Go on, give me a 6. No. So I didn't get to range in. That means nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Next up, I have.
Should we tell them why you need a 6?
Yes, please.
Right. I'm starting off as veteran, so it starts me off as a 4.
Yep.
I am concealed.
Yep.
+1, and I'm in cover as well, gone to ground.
Yep.
Because I haven't shot or moved.
So I need 6s to range in on that. Right. Next up, I'm going to fire my Tiger. Okay. The Tiger has a rate of fire of 2, but he's down to 1 because he moved.
Yes.
And my Tiger's firing at your tank right up there in that top corner.
Okay.
Okay.
Definitely got the range.
I've definitely got the range because it'll go right up to 40 inches. So. Yes, I think we're okay there.
Ooh.
Are we?
Ooh, let me. Oh, hang on. Right. At that moment there, you are out of range.
I don't believe it. But that's tournament rules for you.
So that.
So there's nothing I can do. Can he fire at something else? Or
Yeah,
is
go
it
on. Yeah, I'll
after?
let you. No, I'll let you. But,
Or if I had done that
to
in
be honest, no, because you would check, you pre-measure.
All right. Okay.
So you have your intent. You pre-measure. Oh, I'm not in.
Then he's going to shoot at this guy here.
That's probably a good idea.
Okay, that is in range.
That is.
I get 1 shot. What would it be? It would be
Veteran.
Yeah, so it's 4s normally.
Over half range.
So 5s.
I moved it, so 5s.
Yep, 5s. Okay. So I need a 5, but I get to re-roll a miss.
You do.
So I got a 6.
Darn.
Right.
Well, I've got no armor. Well, I've got 1 armor on the front, but it's not going to stop a Tiger tank round.
Yeah, so it's a straight
firepower.
firepower check, which is a 3+.
It is.
Which I don't get to re-roll, unfortunately.
No.
So, but I still got a 6. There we go. So,
Oh, first
bang,
blood.
First blood. That's good. I like that. What did I just kill?
That was the RAF observer.
All right.
The whole reason I actually put Joe on the Joe on the table in the first place.
Right. Over to my Stugs. That's a really bad sign for a tournament when you're killing things and you don't actually know why you're killing them, but I'm killing them because they are there.
Yeah.
So, right.
Well, it's that target of opportunity at the start,
Yeah.
isn't it, really?
Okay. Next up, my Stugs. My Stugs have a rate of fire of 2.
Yep.
But they all down to 1 because they moved.
All right.
So I'm going to start with this one here. He can, or can he? No.
No. Through that building? No.
No.
Through the gap?
He could maybe fire at that guy at the back.
Yes, you can. Yeah, the one at the back you can.
Now, that's not trees, so that does the 6-inch rule count on this?
No, it just
No.
gives you cover.
Okay. So, he would normally need a 4.
Yep.
But you're in cover, so he needs a 5, and it's over half distance, so he needs a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Actually, we've gone to ground as well.
Oh, so
7.
then, so it can't be
do
done.
it.
Can't touch it.
Now,
Okay.
that's the good thing about not doing anything on the first turn.
Okay. These guys here on this guy there.
Yep. You
Okay.
only 6s.
Yeah, they're both fine. So he's a 4 normally.
Yep.
A 5 because he's over half distance, and
That's it. Unless we're going to give cover through the buildings. Has he got cover through there? I mean, I would, because it's. I mean, you can only see half of it through the rubble.
Really, Dave?
No, it's fives. Yeah, fives.
Okay, so
That's my command team. That's my staff team. That's what I'm
okay,
picking.
so I can roll them both at the same time. Neither.
Neither hit.
They just impacted off the surface. This guy here was going to try for this guy here.
He did move, so it will only be sixes.
Yeah, so he needs a 6.
4, 5 half range, cover 6. Yeah, 6.
6. No,
No.
nothing. Okay, that is the end of my turn. Right. At what point do the reserves come in, Dave?
For the delayed reserves, it will be from turn 3.
So turn 3. So that is the end of turn 1. So let me grab a dice, and just so as we can keep track of the turns. So that's us on turn 1. We're now going into turn 2.
Yes.
Over to you.
Normal reserves are from the start.
Wait, I have one other thing to do.
Okay.
Something that I forgot so many times, I'm not going to forget this time. I have stormtrooper moves.
I thought I was going to get away with it there.
Right.
Was it for you pesky kids?
Stormtrooper moves. First up, King Tiger, because he needs a stormtrooper
He
move.
does need it. No.
No.
Not on that, he's not.
My Stugs. This one.
Or it'll be for the whole unit.
No, they didn't get it either, and I don't need to do it for those guys. So my stormtrooper move, I remembered it at least, Dave. Okay, your turn.
Okay, so from turn 2, I'm now allowed to bombard
Yep.
and bring in my planes,
Yes.
which is something you didn't do.
No.
No.
Ah, I could have done that.
Yeah.
I didn't have to actually... Smart ass. All right, that's okay. That's fine. Yeah.
That's it. No more Mr. Nice Guy. That's
My
it.
planes will be extra effective from now on.
I'm glad,
Okay.
'cause I've got nothing that can shoot it down. Right, so my planes, they do come in.
Yes. You get 5 dice to
5
begin
dice
with.
on the start, and now
So you roll all 5.
Yep.
You only need to get a 5 on one of them.
Yep, and then
And then the next time you roll, you're down to 4. The
That's
time after
it.
that, you're down to 3. Okay.
so how many dice? How many planes are in the flight? 2. A
2.
normal flight.
So it's a normal flight. That means that what you roll, you don't have to re-roll
I don't have to
anything.
re-roll anything, and if I miss, I miss.
Yes.
So annoying because that is what was going to save me, that one. I'm going to do like most tournament play. Well, most people do. I'm going to go for the King Tiger for the start.
Okay, that's fine.
We will see. I don't mainly because the Stugs are so well, they're just stuck there, to be honest. So within 4 inches there.
Yep. Now the fact that the Stugs are so close to buildings as well, I think has an effect on it.
Yes, I have to
So-
actually range in,
Yeah.
which is what makes this so good because it means I can re-roll failed ranged in attempts.
Okay.
That's that. It does need 4 inches.
Yeah, that's fine. Not a problem.
Okay, so that's it. To be
That
honest,
sits
for
there.
that
We
bit.
come back to that later. So.
Yes, we'll go back to that later. So I'm going to again go to ground, not do anything with these. I'm going to keep him there, so he's going to go to ground as well.
Yep.
But I'm going to remove gone to ground for these, and I'm going to do a bombardment.
Okay.
On what I'm going to do, a bombardment, is something I'm going to have to check first. It's all looking a little bit pants, to be honest. I can't see the
Good.
Stugs from the observer. One thing people don't realise is that if you can see anything, a Stug from anywhere,
Yeah.
I can range in from that team. I don't need the observer.
Yes.
So, because we know that we can see,
Yes.
I can bombard to them. So I will do that, and I'll do it from this one here because we can see from here onto there.
Okay.
So we will try. So, you're not gone to ground, but you've got cover. So 5s.
5s.
First attempt. Nope. Second attempt. Nope. Third attempt. No. Really should have put some smoke down there, but it wouldn't have affected it too much.
That was close.
That
That was very close.
I could have direct fired. Might have been a better idea. Might have been. No. This one here then.
Yes.
Right. Uses this template again. As we know, it's there.
Yep.
You are within 2 inches of some tree, well, bocage, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
have to range in anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter, whatever it is. So, to range in, you're not in cover, but I have to range in, so it's just normal force.
Mm-hmm.
Which I do. So I hit.
Of course you do.
Right. Now, I've ranged in, but I've got to hit under the template.
Yep.
Freeze to hit, because that's my gun's rating.
Mm-hmm. And then you rolled a 1.
This is why it's come out of the thing. This is why it's come out of my list, because
There's so much randomness
it's
to it,
so
isn't it?
random.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I've got 2 planes on. I've ranged in. I've done all with it.
Yeah.
And there's 100 and nearly 200 points. I'm not
Wasted.
Wasted.
Okay.
So
Is that the end of your turn, Dave?
Sharp.
Right. First things first, aircraft. Well,
Yes.
you come to remind me.
Yeah,
Thank you
exactly,
for that.
That's all right.
So I get to roll on 3 dice.
You do. You've only got sporadic.
So let's see, and I need a 5. Yes, baby. But that means next time I only get to roll on 2 dice.
Yes.
So, are you ready for this? My Nazi flying saucer has arrived. This is it. This is the crowning piece of my army. My Nazi UFO, my Nazi flying saucer, proper Nazi technology. This is why the Third Reich failed.
That's it, yeah.
They spent all their money
Money.
developing this piece of magnificence. It even has its little tank marks of all the tanks that it's killed.
They've actually killed.
Going
You did,
all
didn't you?
the way around the body, Dave, by
One
the time
day.
this baby gets
Well,
packed
probably
away.
going to add about 15 to me on this one.
Right. So, the question is, what is he? For you at home, currently I am fielding it as an HS-129B3. And if anybody complained to me at the tournament, I did have one of them as well, just in case. But nobody complained.
No,
Everybody
actually
loves
did they? They were all very...
No, everybody loved it. They thought it was
very
great.
funny.
They thought it was great fun. So, he's got a cannon, which is 4 pluses to hit. He's got a machine gun, which is 3 pluses to hit. To be fair, I kind of like him against troops. I think his 3 plus to hit on the troops is probably as good as the actual cannon itself.
Has they got no HE?
No, there's no
so
HE.
you can't use the use the cannon.
I can't use the cannon on the troops. I can just use the
no.
machine gun. So I'm going to place him there.
Yep, I'll just give you a good indication of 4 inch. Yeah, you're well in there.
Okay.
If you can balance it, that's
And
it.
he's going to come in. Now I'm just going to roll to get my 3 planes. So, I only got the 1. That means I have to re-roll any hits.
Man, that's what we're saying about cut the the randomness out of a tournament list.
Yeah.
Because it's what we're doing at the moment is fine. You know, in a game when you've got ranks and leader stuff.
It's difficult. It is
is.
difficult. Right. Next. So I've done my aircraft.
Yes.
I don't have anybody that I need to dig in. I don't have any morale checks or anything to do.
No.
So I'm straight back onto movement again.
Yep.
Now, this time, I'm going to move my Tiger into this. But one of the dangers that I found about moving Tigers around, especially in buildings and among buildings and stuff like that, is it starts to get very complex to work out the lines of fire and stuff like that. And I have found myself leaving the arse of my tank hanging over in full view, basically.
Yeah, that is the main problem. I mean, and also because it's such a big target. You don't realise how big it is until you see it on the table. It's
So I'm going to
big.
put it. I'm actually going to change my mind. I'm going to roll it back. And Dave, this is something I did during the tournament, and it worked well for me. Was just asking my opponent did they agree with what I thought. Dave, would you say that he has line of sight on?
Yes, most definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Actually looks really good from here.
Yes, it does. It
The
starts to
Tiger
get...
tank
Yeah.
poking through. That's really good.
And that's pretty much how they would have been operated
oh, yeah,
as well.
yeah,
So
yes,
it's...
it is. Yeah, it's right on the money.
Now I'm into some interesting
Yes. Now,
things
do
here.
you take the risk of bogging checks, or do you go... to be honest, if you need to move through the T, you're going to need to.
Well, it's actually not as bad as what you might think, because I actually do have one piece of road
Oh, you do actually.
to go in
That's
and around.
True.
Who's this?
That is just it's my battery command.
It's your battery command. Right, I've got to be careful here, because Dave, if I give him any sniff of me at all, Dave could direct fire at me.
I use it there because blow it up, you've blocked your own way out. You have to go through the hedge then. Although your tanks are very wide anyway, they wouldn't have got through, but it was an idea.
I'm going to bring him. I've got plenty of range here to do this.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to try and do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
Yeah, I've got
Yep,
range
you're
to
right
do
there.
this as
Yep.
well. Going to bring him around.
It's where you want people in the buildings to start assaulting the tanks, but the thing
Yeah.
that you've got with your tank riders is that it's not a very good idea to do that.
No.
Because they get
Now,
machine gunned.
this guy here... Yeah, this guy here is going to have to take a bogging check to go across that. He's fine.
Yep.
So he's going basically like that. And then this final guy...
You could see if that tank is smaller than the gap. I don't know if it is. If it's smaller than the gap, no. That's a bit
Trying to
annoying.
get through a gap here, guys, and that would have been...
That would have been it, wouldn't it?
That
It
would have been handy. Still, all is not lost. All is not lost. He can go this way, but to do that he needs a bogging check. He passes it because you only bog on a 1.
Yeah.
So that'll bring him like that.
Oh, if only the RAF could be counted for something.
Right. So that's my movement over. Now into shooting. First things first. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to move my bombardment over to his troops instead. So I'm going to try and use my artillery on your troops, Dave. If you can put a template over somebody there and see what we can...
see what we've got. That is probably your best one there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that one
What
there.
about those guys there, where roughly where the
That one there. You can't
forward
target.
of that?
You can't. That's going to get... That might be 3. No, that's going to be only 2. It's that one if you want maximum amount of hits. That's 3.
So for maximum kill.
For maximum kill, it's that one there because of 3.
Okay, well, we'll do that. I had 2 options there. One is I could have thought, no, I want to keep it on as close to the objective as possible to try and clear stuff off the objective. Or I can go the other route and try and kill as much as I can and try and hope that he fails a morale check and they come off the objective anyway. So at this stage of the game...
I am guards.
So what does that mean?
I get to reroll platoon morale checks. So if you're going to force a morale check, it's an uphill struggle even more with the Irish Guards.
I'm still going to go for the kills.
Okay.
I'm still going to go for the kills. Okay, so I get my 3 dice. I have to range in. Your 4 standard by standard.
Yep. Dug in.
Dug in.
Well, that won't affect anything here, but I'm gone to ground, so that'll be 1 more. 5. There's no cover. So I'm not concealed.
Nope. So it's 5s. Let's see.